And Internet Explorer is the only browser on any platform to support color sync technology. And let's see why that makes a difference. If you look at the image on the left, I guess it's kind of a little bit different than the way the designer designed it, because he designed it in a different monitor. So it's, if you look at the leaves on the bottom, they're kind of too saturated, and if you look at the lion's faces, they're kind of a bit too green. So it doesn't look very good. So now let's go turn on color sync support inside of Internet Explorer, which is on by default, but we turned it off for the demo. And then reload the page on the right. And now you can see the image exactly like what it's supposed to look like. The things look a lot better. Maybe it's hard to see on the barcode, but if you saw it on the iMac or we're demoing it right here, you'll see that it looks exactly like what it's supposed to look like. And again, color sync support is available only in the Macintosh version of Internet Explorer. First on the Mac and only on the Mac. So that's been some of the work that we're doing in Internet Explorer. And I've talked about what we're doing now, and I want to talk a little bit maybe of what's coming up for Microsoft in the future, if you want to hear that. A few people. Okay. One of the things we've just done at Microsoft is actually reorganize our Macintosh groups. We've taken the 200 people working on Macintosh software today at Microsoft and put them into one organization, my group, the Macintosh Business Unit. And the reason we did that is because we think if we can get all the Macintosh fanatics at Microsoft, and there are a lot of us together, we can share a lot of great ideas and make sure that the innovations that we come up with are available throughout our Macintosh product line. So if you like Office 98 today, you're really going to like the work that we're going to be doing in Internet Explorer, and vice versa. And another reason that we think that that's really great is that I can now make this promise to you that Microsoft will never again ship ported versions of Macintosh applications. I guess you could say we learned our lesson. And from now on, we will be shipping Macintosh products built from the Macintosh from the ground up for our Macintosh customers with a lot, and I'm telling you a lot, of innovations and features available first on the Macintosh and only on the Macintosh from Microsoft. And so I want to thank all of you today who are using our products, who are using Office and Internet Explorer on the Macintosh. We're actually giving away some free CDs at our booth if you want to try those out as well. And so thank you for using our software, and I invite you to join with us as we work with Apple to continue creating great Macintosh software in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ben. You know, when we announced this partnership a year ago, I was trying to think of analogies. I thought, well, Nixon goes to China, or Reagan and Gorbachev, but then somebody had to be Nixon, you know, and so, or Ronald. And so I don't know what the right analogy is. I guess it's just Apple working with Microsoft to bring some great products to our customers, and I feel really good about this. So, we've been doing a lot in the last year with Microsoft and with others. And we announced, as I said, we announced the iMac on May 6th. Now that was just 9 weeks ago today, exactly 9 weeks ago. That is 63 days ago. And since that time, a lot of the work that we've been doing with some of these developers has come to fruition, and even some developers that we hadn't talked to have called us on the phone, and an extraordinary thing has happened. I'm really happy to tell you today that in the last 63 days since the iMac has been launched, over 177 apps have been announced for the Mac. Huge. So these are totally new apps, they're upgrades, the whole bailiwick, 177 new commits for apps to the Mac since iMac was launched. Now I've got about 20% of them I just wanted to run through with you. Obviously, some great internet software. You heard about a new version of IE. America Online's got a great version for the Mac of their new browser that's terrific, much better than their prior version. On the web, we've got some great software to create websites. You know, Electrifier, NetObjects Fusion, and Cyber Studio Go Live, and they've got a new consumer edition of this product out, and it's great. In our core publishing market, Adobe shipping a landmark upgrade, Photoshop 5, that's been extraordinarily well received by our customers. Coral coming out with the draw and paint programs. Some fantastic stuff from Meta Creations, some upgrades like Supergoo, and some totally new products like Show, 4 new products from Meta Creations. And some products in the audio and video space, and the most important of those is Avid Cinema, but Cubase's product to create audio is also stunning. And these are great, great products. In the productivity space, new version of ClarisWorks renamed AppleWorks, Quicken 98 Deluxe, and Britannica is now on the Mac. Some utilities, we've got Norton Antivirus and Conflict Catcher have been announced. And we've been really working on some games. For some reason, the past senior management teams didn't like games. I don't know why, but we do. And we've been really trying to get some games back on the Mac, and we're doing great on this. First of all, the X-Files game, which is really hot, is coming out on the Mac. 3 of the great fantasy games, Riven, Legacy of Time, and Douglas Adams' Starship Titanic, all coming on the Mac or are on the Mac today with new versions. Star Wars, right? LucasArts coming back on the Mac, as well as 2 great Star Trek titles from Macsoft. Civilization, great shoot-'em-up titles. And these are 2 incredible ones, actually. Real Pool is an incredibly cool 3D pool game. Now, Deer Hunter I haven't played. I'm a vegetarian. But I'm told that this is incredibly popular, probably in the Midwest, with the guys. But if you have a rifle in your truck, you ought to check this out. Okay, Tomb Raider. Super hot game. Lara Croft coming to a Mac near you, and we are extremely excited. The whole Tomb Raider series is coming over, and we're extremely excited about this. And that's a lead-in to basically your teenage boy games. And we've got a lot of them, you know, a lot of them. And so we hope we can keep our teenage boys in our market very, very happy with these games. We think they're going to be very cool. But we also have some girls in our audience. And Mattel has announced that they're bringing their 3 most popular Barbie titles over. And when your daughters are done with them, they can get a cosmopolitan virtual makeover. Also coming to a Mac near you. Some fantastic young learning software. Sesame Street coming back to the Mac. Some fantastic stuff. Dr. Seuss Rugrats, incredibly popular and good software. Kid Picks, again, incredibly popular software coming back to the Mac. Some fantastic reading software, the Reader Rabbit series, as well as some other reading software that's terrific. And some math and some history software. Again, edutainment and educational coming back to the Mac. Also some terrific games. So I think we've got a tremendous complement of stuff from some tremendous developers coming back in these areas. And again, this is like 20% of what's been announced in the last 63 days. But in addition to software delivered on CD-ROMs, there's also been a lot of online software that has been introduced. And we want to highlight one today that we're super excited about, a company that I've had a long partnership through my association with Pixar, which is the Walt Disney Company. And Disney's doing some fantastic stuff, and one of the coolest things they're doing is Blast Online. And it is my pleasure right now to introduce Richard Wolpert, the president of Disney Online, to announce what they're planning on doing with us on the iMac. Richard? Thank you.
How you guys doing? I always feel like a little bit of a rock star. I want to say, good morning, New York! Steve talks about people coming back to the Mac, and for me, this is an exciting day for a couple reasons. And one of them is I actually started my career at Apple in 1985, and I was going through one of my old boxes of stuff over the weekend. You guys aren't going to be able to see it, but I actually found, I don't know if it's legal that I kept this, Steve, but I found my employee badge from 1985, and here it is. And I realized 2 things when I looked at this. One was Apple really has been a part of my life. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. And the other is I've aged a lot in 14 years. So 2 people that I know looked at this morning and said, is that you?